What's up YouTube, the kid's good here, and today I'm actually going to be reviewing one of my subscribers' Fortnite gameplay footage. I'm going to go over some of the things that this player did really well, and then I'm also going to go over some of the things that this player could use some improvement on. I'm always looking for subscriber gameplay to review, so if you want me to review your gameplay, go ahead and upload it to YouTube and then link it down in the comments of this video. As always, if you're new here, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, click the bell to turn the notifications on because I make gaming improvement videos weekly. Let's jump right into this Fortnite gameplay review. So in this very first clip, one of the things that was a little bit questionable was this player actually picks up a green SMG and then tries to go for a long-range kill. This gun really isn't designed to be used at that long of range, and if you are going to use it at that long of range, you need to crouch while shooting so that you can reduce the bloom. So after heading down to get some more loot, one of the things that I didn't like was that he found a chug jug and didn't use it right away. And I totally understand, the ideology behind that. Maybe you wanted to try and find some better meds before you use it, but when you're in tilted towers where there's a lot of people, as soon as you get any kind of meds, use them right away. Big shields, mini shields, chug jug, whatever, you want to pop that immediately because you never know who's in your building. And then the player goes on to the first floor where he finds some mini shields, is already holding a big shield. Now, what I personally would have done is he opts to just go for one of the shields. I would have dropped the gray tack. I'm not even a big fan of the tack. Maybe if it were a blue tack, but a gray or a green tack, I'm definitely going to drop that so that I can carry more shields. He opts to just carry one shield in this case, and you have to remember, you're in tilted towers, so having more shields, you're going to be in a lot of engagements, so you want to have a lot of shields. And in this particular clip right here, he actually snipes somebody, and then he rotates to his green AR and takes him out of the game pretty quickly. That's a really high-level play, in my opinion, when you can actually shoot somebody to take all their shields out with something like a sniper or a shotgun, and then alternate to a fully automatic gun to finish them out. That's a really good play in my opinion. And then the player gets sniped from somebody outside of tilted towers, and a couple of things that I have to say about this is he doesn't build to protect himself while he's trying to snipe him, so I don't know that I would have actually just gotten into this fight. I would have tried to close the gap first. But not only that, but you're making a lot of noise while you're trying to shoot this guy with your sniper rifle, so anybody that's in tilted towers is going to hear that, and they could rotate behind you or to the side of you. You're not protected. They could take you out pretty easily. I think the player got really lucky, but if you want to go for those players, that's all well and good, but I would have went a different route, and I wouldn't have just been walking through tilted with no cover taking shots. Also, guys, it's important to note, when you have to heal, whether you're in tilted towers or all the way in junk junction where no one is, always box yourself all the way in or go somewhere where nobody can see you, because all it takes is one angle for somebody to have a hunting rifle and take you out of the game. So I really like this next play by this player, and the reason I say that is because he hears that the guy he was sniping at is actually getting into another engagement with another player and decides to rush in third party, which is super important. And the reason I say that is because that player is now preoccupied by somebody else. He could come in and potentially clean up both players. He does get in the face of another player and ends up getting into a build battle with him. And what I like about this build battle is that he's not just spam building, he's actually taking shots when he has the opportunity to do so. He's not just building and building and building, he's building, getting an angle, shooting, building, getting an angle, and then shooting. Now, something I would have done a little bit differently is I wouldn't have followed him down the mountain to finish the kill. I would have stayed up right where I was and then shot at him from the upper angle. And guys, I want to take a moment to talk about the vending machines in Fortnite. The only time that I use vending machines or find value in vending machines is when I've got plenty of resources and I'm going to use them on meds if I don't have any. I'm never going to use them on guns because I can usually make do with the guns I have. This particular player blew quite a bit of resources, almost all of his resources, on 2 guns and actually only grabbed one of them. So I'm not sure what the thought process is there, but like I said, guys, it's almost rare that you would find me using a vending machine in Fortnite. Guys, one of the things I want to talk about really quick, and I see a lot of players do it, is when you're navigating across the map, don't just run around with nothing in your hand, such as a pickaxe or meds. You always want to have a gun. The only time you don't is obviously if you're going for materials, and the reason for this is if somebody pops up or somebody starts to shoot you, you're not going to be able to react as quickly. You're going to have to switch to one of your weapons. If you're already running with one of your weapons out, you don't have to worry about that. So in this very next clip, the player actually spots another player and pulls out the sniper to try to take him out of the game and get a quick scope in. One of the things that I like is that while the guy was boxing up and he didn't have an angle, he actually tried to go in to close the gap. One of the things I didn't like is as he's going to close the gap, he actually stops. So he's at a really big disadvantage because this guy, if he had a sniper, could peek right over the edge and take him out. I probably would have kept going. I may have dropped down and then build up a little bit closer. I wouldn't have been standing here like this because he doesn't know where the player that was shooting him is at, so he could actually get sniped from a different angle. He tries to gloat, and maybe he's trying to get the guy to snipe at him. I don't know. but I definitely would have closed the gap. I wouldn't just sit here and, you know, try to get an angle when this guy opens up or tries to get a free shot in. Now, he does get really lucky because this guy could have RPG'd him down, could have thrown a grenade to take him out of the game, but he builds up a couple levels. He's able to pull out the sniper and take this other guy out of the game. So after the player hits his opponent for 150 shield, what I would have done a little bit differently is I would have gotten super aggressive. I would have rushed towards him at full speed because he's got full health, full shield, and you don't want to give that other player the opportunity to heal, especially when we're down to 3 players, 2 opponents. You want to take this guy out of the game as quickly as possible. Don't give him the opportunity to med all the way back up and potentially take you out of the game. I would have gotten super aggressive there. But he doesn't, and he opts to actually drop down to clean up some loot from a previous kill, and while he's doing that, this player is actually getting super aggressive, and he ends up getting the high ground from this player here. So, you know, had we taken him out of the game in the first place, you wouldn't be in a position like this that now he has the high ground and he has to kind of fight for it. I do want to give him kudos on his ability to build because it is really good, and it's some of the best that I've seen from most console players. He's able to regain the high ground because the other guy can't build nearly as well, and he takes him out with a couple of shots. So now we're at the end when this player has gotten himself into a 1v1 situation, and it looks like he checks his inventory to see if he has any bounce pad because he wants to close the gap. I don't know that I would have built this high to close the gap because, like I said earlier, you know, with the buff to RPGs, grenades, things like that, you can get taken out of the game pretty easily. Luckily, this guy doesn't even really shoot at him. He closes the gap. I would have kept going right there. I wouldn't just be standing out here in the middle. Luckily, he does do a little bit of building to protect himself. But now, he does have the option to not get super aggressive because he is in the middle of the circle. They're both in the circle. If he wanted to build up and maybe take some peek sniper shots with this guy, I personally wouldn't opt for that. I would honestly just get really aggressive because we can tell by the type of player this other player is that he's not a super high level player, because usually when people are sitting in 1v1s this late in the game and they're not really shooting, they're probably not a very good player. But he gets pretty lucky, and after this guy takes down most of his shields, he actually whips out the sniper, nails the headshot, and takes this guy out of the game. So kudos for him to win this game. Thanks so much for watching, and I really hope that you guys learned something today. If you're not already, follow me on Instagram for more updates. So until next time.